Have you ever considered how your carefully crafted lines of code, your innovative software, truly remains your intellectual property in today's fast-paced digital landscape? Software copyright infringement legally occurs when someone, without authorization, copies, distributes, modifies, publicly performs, or publicly displays software that is protected by copyright. Fundamentally, it is about protecting the unique expression of a program, rather than its underlying functional ideas. Copyright law extends its protection to the original literary expression embodied in software. This includes both its source code, which are the human-readable instructions, and its object code, the machine-executable version. Protection can also cover non-literal elements like the program's overall structure, sequence, and organization, often described as its look and feel. The cornerstone of this concept is what is known as the idea-expression dichotomy. In simple terms, copyright protects the specific way an idea is expressed, but not the abstract idea or the function itself. For instance, the general idea of a word processing application is not copyrightable, but the unique coding, architecture, and user interface design of a specific word processing program are absolutely protectable. To establish infringement, a plaintiff must prove ownership of a valid copyright and demonstrate that the defendant copied protected elements of the work. Courts typically assess copying through circumstantial evidence, looking for proof that the defendant had access to the copyrighted software, and that there is a substantial similarity between the two works. This substantial similarity can be literal, involving direct, word-for-word code duplication, or non-literal, where the underlying structure, sequence, and organization are copied even if the exact code differs. For non-literal infringement, courts often apply a three-step test called abstraction filtration comparison. This process involves breaking down the program into its constituent structural parts, then filtering out unprotectable elements such as ideas, public domain material, or elements dictated by efficiency, and finally comparing the remaining protectable expression. While there are defenses like independent creation or fair use is an affirmative defense, meaning the alleged infringer must prove that their use falls within its boundaries by considering factors such as the purpose and character of the use, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount and substantiality of the portion used, and the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. Identifying potential infringement requires a meticulous examination. You would typically look for direct copying of code snippets, individual functions, or entire modules. Beyond literal copying, significant structural similarities, such as the arrangement of modules, the data flow within the program, or the user interface elements, could also indicate infringement. Documenting these similarities, often through side-by-side code comparison or detailed interface analysis, is crucial. If you suspect infringement, consulting with a legal professional who specializes in intellectual property law is always recommended for a thorough analysis and expert guidance. Understanding the definition of originality is vital here, as it is a prerequisite for copyright protection. For software to be copyrightable, it must be an independent creation of the author and possess at least a minimal degree of creativity. Copyright also extends to what are called derivative works. These are new works created by modifying or adapting existing copyrighted software, provided the new work includes original copyrightable authorship. For example, translating a program into a new programming language or adding significant new features could create a derivative work. However, the scope of protection for such a derivative work only covers the new material. Elements that are commonplace or standard in the industry, or are dictated solely by functional considerations or external factors, often referred to as scenes of faire, are generally not protected by copyright. This prevents monopolizing common programming practices or functional requirements. Grasping these precise legal definitions empowers software creators to effectively protect their innovation. It ensures they receive due credit and benefit from their hard work, fostering a vibrant environment for continued competition and technological development within the software industry. It is all about encouraging creativity while balancing access and innovation.